Alright, so now you know the double signal system. Now there is an even crazier one, the triple signal system. But before we talk about the triple signal system, I'd like to remind you of one interesting rule. The rule of back into trend. A few lessons back, I've taught you what that rule means, and now it is time for you to actually understand how you could use it. Now, as you can remember in many previous examples of the single signal system, when we imagine a situation where you enter into, let's say, falling prices, so you open a short position with a signal, a nice weakness, maybe some divergency, nice stochastic stairs going down, and a wave beyond a trigger as your signal and entry. And the trend works quite nicely for a while. You have some nice profit, and for example, you either have a take profit, automatically close your trade, or you see a signal which is a wave above the trigger in the opposite direction. So the technical reasons force you to close the previous position and open a long position into obviously climbing prices. Now imagine that when you open the next one, so into a new trend, into the climbing trend, and it does not work, so it turns against you right away. Now, in this kind of a scenario, as you can remember, there are two things that you can do. Either the stop is going to be pulled and nothing else to do, or you'll see the MACD crossing over back into the falling trend, so crossing over, going beneath the trigger line. That would indicate a reason to actually close the trade. However, according to the back into the trend rule, you can, and I encourage you to try this, not just close the trade, but close it and open a short position back into falling trend. This is a fantastic way to trade and always be in the market. In this way, you'll find a weakness and a signal for falling. So you open a short position, the trend is working, then you find a entry into climbing. So to open a long position, you open it, so you're constantly in the market, and if something doesn't work, you change back into trend. So if you're coming from up, going down, finding a signal for the direction change, so for climbing, opening a long position, you do it, you open a long position, doesn't work, you change back into the falling trend that you had previously. This is a fantastic way to always be in the market and to try and profit from almost each movement of the market. Now, I won't be showing you any examples of this because it is quite simple. And if you were following my guidance so far and you were doing everything as it was explained in the homeworks and you were paying attention in general and taking notes, you should have absolutely no problem in terms of using the back into trend rule. It is extremely simple as every other rule in general. Now, let's talk about triple signal system. Now, this one is easy. If you understood how to use the single signal system and a double signal system, then the triple signal system is easy to use. So with the double signal system, you had two time frames where you had to find a signal. In the triple signal system, all you need is to add one more time frame, and it's going to be an extra older, the bigger time frame. So if you're using the 1 minute, 5 minute combination, you'll be adding on the 15 minutes. So 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes. So in all of these three time frames, you'll have to have a signal. And of course, it is the same logic as with the double signal system. The first signal must come in the oldest time frame, the biggest time frame, which is 15 minutes. And within the next 15 minutes, you'll have to find two more signals. This is easy enough to understand. However, it is quite difficult to use in practice. Quite a few traders that I know, that I've taught, a few of my students and a few other traders, friends of mine who actually use indicators, are using it until this day. But to be honest, I don't. I don't use this, and I don't encourage you to use it because it just happens so seldomly. You'll be waiting sometimes for weeks to find a signal. Even a single signal in 15 minutes, you might be waiting for a few days. But then finding a triple signal, it's just, sometimes it feels like it will never happen. and that's the reason why I don't use it. I've used it a few times before, and the power of this signal is quite strong. These signals are quite strong, and the success rate is even better compared to the double signal system. However, it happens so rarely that I'm just bored to sit at my screen for days and sometimes weeks and just waiting for it. So I do not use them at all. Maybe sometimes if I see one accidentally, because in my trading screen, I'll show you later my trading station in the end of this learning program. And I have many time frames set out for each market at the same time. So I always see the daily chart, the 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, and so on and so forth, which in the beginning for you, it's not necessary to have many screens. You can have just one, and even a laptop will do for the beginning, for the start, and later you'll see how many more screens you need. So I see those time frames at the same moment, and I am able to actually notice a triple signal if there is one happening, and I will take it. But to be honest, I don't pay attention that much to those things, and sometimes I miss them because my mind is just not focused on them. The only signals that I take are mostly 90% of the signals are the single signals, and about 10% are the double signals. For the triple signals, there is one benefit though. The benefit is that if you will spend a few days or weeks trying to track down a few triple signals, then you will actually improve your trading. You will gain experience, and you will look for the details, and you will be comparing time frames. So this is great practice. It is absolutely fantastic, and I recommend you actually after this chapter, I'll talk about it in the end of lesson 13, what I want you to do, but jumping a little bit ahead, I would love that after this chapter you would spend some time and actually trade the indicators and not expect very much from them. Don't expect to make 100 points per day. I would want you to actually just simply work with them, and one of the things that you could do is track down the triple signals. And even if they don't work or you're confused of how to find them, don't worry. It's all about the practice. So there you have it. There is the single signal system, which is the most important. Then there is the double signal system and the triple signal system. And the triple signal system, I won't be even showing you any examples of, because in my opinion, it is for actual trading in the future for you, it is a waste of time. But for practice, it is great. So, but the practice work you can do on your own, and you don't need to spend another few hours at the learning program and just looking at the examples I'm showing. Seeing the examples is one thing, but actually trading and practicing in the real market yourself is whole another story, and it is 100 times more important than actually seeing the examples. In the examples, you can see the basic structure, but then utilizing it and looking for it in the real market situation is up to you. And this is going to be your main objective to complete after chapter 6. This is primarily the reason why I haven't showed you hundreds and hundreds examples of even the single signal system. I showed you, we've taken apart 2 full days, and I've showed you about 20 or 30 entries and the signals and the structures, but there are hundreds more. They are always different. The bend in the MACD might be different. The height, the difference of the peaks and stochastic will always be different. There is no single, the same looking signal. They are all similar, of course, but the technical details and the surrounding circumstance and the mood of the market is always different. So this part you will have to do on your own, and that we'll talk about in the end of chapter 13. All right, this lesson is coming to an end, a short one. Now, please do not forget about the test, and there will be no homework, so enjoy some time off.